You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's happening?
What's
happening?
up,
How y'all doing?
What's up?
Hello, chat. What's poppin'?
Good evening to all of you out there who are listening to us either by podcast or watching us by internet. Thank you for joining us. Today, we are talking The Order, Season 1, Episodes 3 and 4, Intro to Ethics. Parts 1 and 2. Very creative on the episode.
Right?
Part 1 and part 2.
Right, just like last week, Hell Week, parts 1 and 2. So whoever was on the titling was like, you know what, I'm going to keep it just simple. I don't want to think of no stuff. So
Keeping it simple.
producers were like, really? That's what you going? Okay.
So I got a great idea.
Right.
We're going to do this twice.
You see how we starting off, people. This is how we starting off for today. So let me go ahead and introduce my lovely panel that I will be talking with.
Yes, because the
today.
panel's going to make the show come to life.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Starting with me, I'm your girl, Jackie Ray. And this crazy person right here.
I'm Joshua Wright, everybody.
And as we all know, I'm your girl, Deshaunda O. Hey, everybody.
And I'm your boy, Tadir Williams. You already see what kind of show it's going to be. You already know. All right,
Already
we
know.
about 2 minutes in, and we already just, woo, okay.
Oh, Lord.
So anyway, before we get started, to let you guys know, we're going to, like I said, we have 2 episodes to talk about today. We're going to have our special segment later, Out of Order.
Out of Order.
Y'all out of order. This whole panel's out of order. We going to be out of
We
order
didn't
today.
get the gavel sound,
We-
did we?
I meant to bring the
Did
gavel.
we get the gavel?
I had
No?
one too.
Okay.
My bad. I'm going to bring it next week.
It's
I
all
forgot.
good.
I forgot.
But anyway, let's start with overall thoughts, starting with Jackie.
I still I cannot with you. It still seems evident to me that this is what happens when you cheat on SATs. That's just what it feels like to me. That's my overall thought.
My overall thought, I think, I like Jack's character. I think Jack is really learning a lot.
Okay, well, listen. My overall thoughts are that I was trying to ship. You guys know how much I love shipping people.
That's
These
what she
people
does.
are not, I'm a ship in the night. These people are not giving me chemistry. I want them to give me more. And
Well, they kissed.
These are,
He did.
Yeah, and she said her lips.
okay,
Let's-
well, I'm so glad you brought that up because I'm sure Tarana Burke will be very glad to know the Me Too movement has crossed over into another realm. They handed him a sexual harassment form, like she slid it over to him, like take this. So my overall thoughts are that Me Too is alive and ain't no chemistry. going
That's
on.
a very accurate depiction of our society right now because we'll take down, by the way, Daddy Magic, what's his name?
Edward.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We got to talk about Eric because I got some stuff.
Daddy Magic is the new like Harvey Weinstein,
Wow.
and this, like you know he preying on old girl. You
Yes.
nasty.
Yeah.
You
We're
Harvey.
watching you.
You know what? We gonna talk about him because I was looking at it like this
a little
dude
crazy.
right here, like just like the whole voice and his movement, like Alyssa
Coming up behind her.
He need to be on trial. That's all I'm
grabbed her
saying. He need to
hand,
be on
talking
trial.
about-
There were a couple times, but I was like, no, he's about to do something to her because he's just too like smooth.
And I
with
am
it.
a little worried about the I do. Was
Me
I the
too.
only one that
yeah,
was
I
worried
noticed
about the
that
I
too.
do?
Yeah, I
Chat,
noticed
let us
that
know.
too.
Did
Yes.
everybody see that? Because I totally,
Yeah.
I was like,
Can't
Okay,
sneak
let's
that
like
past us.
Tanir, I just stepped
No, we
all
gonna
on
get
your
to it.
get to it.
We gonna get to it. We gonna get to all of that.
our
So-
people know how we are.
Right.
You know, exactly. If you've been following us, you know we just jump around,
That's
we talking,
right.
but we get it done in the
Yes.
end. We get it done. So we start off in episode 3. So we see. I'm sorry. Let's even back up. End of episode 2, we see Jack getting eaten up by something.
swallowed up.
So episode 3 begins with him. With what is his RA,
Randall.
Randall, his RA, and the other werewolves, and he's trying to figure out like what just happened to me. He's got his shirt off, he's dirty, like all this stuff, and they're trying to tell him, not trying to tell him, they do tell him, we are werewolves, we're the knights. What is it? The Knights of Saint Christopher.
Yes.
And so I wanted to kind of get your overall thoughts. Like, first of all, like, I don't know what your guys' experiences are in terms of looking at werewolves and other like movies. Like, do they always just seem to be like not the cool kids? Like when they're going up against vampires, it's like vampires are always like the cool, like werewolves are.
Michael J. Fox and Teen Wolf was cool. Wasn't he?
No, he
was like the square lane
Yeah,
guy.
Okay.
like in Twilight, what's his name?
They had
Jacob
money.
was kind of the you know,
Yeah.
trying to get the girl type.
Off in the woods type.
Yeah, and I was like, these
Lame.
guys, they were all kind of like, if I feel kind of dorky, like,
I don't know. By
so-
the second Twilight, I was definitely Team Jacob.
Oh well, yeah,
Whoa.
he cleaned up, but
Lord.
well, that's
Don't
you know.
you Lord me.
So, but no, it was interesting to. So they're telling him like, oh, he's basically a werewolf, and he's trying to come to grips with that. Like, no, I can't be. You know, what did you guys think about like in terms of just that whole when he met the werewolf order, the Knights of Saint Christopher, kind of.
So what I thought you were gonna say is, I don't know what your experience is with waking up butt naked in the forest,
Right.
but like my initial reaction would have been, I'm butt naked in the forest. I don't want to
Yes.
hear nothing you got to say about werewolves. Because then if you add on to that, we're werewolves. I get this show would be over. This show would have been over in the first episode, first 20 minutes if it was me. Because if you tell if I'm butt naked first, me too. You standing over me. Why are y'all here?
Yeah.
What did y'all do to me? Because
Seems a
I
little
just woke
fishy.
up. Yeah, and I just
Yeah.
woke up. The last thing I remember is the world kind of closing in on me, and now I don't remember too much. No.
And then they're very angry. Like these werewolves are angry.
Yeah, the girl.
The
But
girl.
are
Well,
werewolves
Lilith.
angry?
Lilith is the name of a demon in real life. She's supposed to. Did y'all know that? And like, I think the folklore with Lilith's chat. If you guys know, holla back at me. But if I remember specifically, Lilith is like the woman that came before Eve, who defied God, defied Adam, defied all of them. So she was banished, and so she inevitably became a demon in like folklore and stuff.
Oh, I got you.
Interesting.
Okay.
And we find out later that she's the loner. So I mean,
But she act real.
She always just ready to
she
fight
acts like she
folks and
doesn't
kill
need
them.
anybody. She's ready to kill people. I mean, I definitely paid attention to how he reacted to them when they tried to get him to say that oath.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
wasn't down with it. He
Yeah.
like, I'm in the order. And my thing is, if he's in the order and they're rivals, and now he's in the Knights of Saint Christopher, like now he has to choose. He's trying to bring an alliance together. He's trying to
Therein
work all hard.
Lies the drama.
Like why does he have
Democrats
to be
and
the one to do all
Republicans.
that?
But that's the character he chose. Remember in the beginning, he kept going around asking about the order. He forced his way in the order. You know, he busted up the meeting.
Right.
Which in real life, he'd have been killed. We already know. The security system would have found him. Okay, Jackie.
Right.
But, and now, like you said, he's a werewolf. I don't know how they expect him to successfully be a werewolf, successfully be in the order, and the order's not going to find out. It's their whole job to be everywhere.
I did like how they did leave that one little nugget of how it could work when they were talking about eating the hearts.
Yeah.
And then they said, oh, we eat the hearts because of tradition. And he said,
Right.
you guys actually know why we eat the hearts? Tradition. We just told you, duh. He's like, no, but if you read these magic books that
That's how the
none of you
magic
guys are reading,
stops.
that's how. So there is that little nugget of how if you're, because there's people definitely in the order who don't want dark magic to continue, right? So there's that little nugget of how they could align if they wanted to.
So you're saying they can tear them out from the inside out.
I'm saying that if the people in the order or the knights or the Blue Rose people want to not align with the Saint Christopher, it would have to be the people that only want magic to prevail for good.
I got
Like
you.
you can't be
Okay.
running around here doing fake dollars and you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, they're just idiots.
The werewolves is not that innocent. I would not want to align with them. They out here. What were they doing? They're out here doing bad things too, though.
Wait a minute now. I'm gonna speak up for my wolves.
Silverback, he just ate. He did not give Jack an opportunity to choose whether or not he even wanted to be in this.
Right? He didn't. However, to my point.
And then he's the strongest one. So it's like, not only did I choose you without you even having an opportunity, now you have to be the strongest. You have to be the one who is gonna essentially be a leader. We know he's being groomed to be the leader.
Of course, but that goes to my point last week when I told you that werewolves don't do anything negative.
Right.
Like they are killing bad people. That's the whole point.
And oh boy makes a great martini. That's
You mean
important. the debonair
the pre-med?
one. Yeah. No. I thought
that's
the
Randall.
Randall's the pre-med.
Okay.
I forgot his name.
You mean his RA?
No, that's
the
Randall.
He's
yeah.
like the leader right now.
Yeah, the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pre-med. They say he's pre-med.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I just real quick. Trent says that Lilith was the first woman in the original book of Genesis. The church revised it and had her removed and demonized her because she wasn't a pick
Wow,
me.
Trent. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right,
I knew I
Trent.
was on
Wait a
the right,
minute.
the road.
You know what I love, Trent? He brought it back to the old school, but then he brought it right back up to the new school.
Yes.
He said they demonized her because she wasn't a pick-me. Y'all know what a pick-me is.
Yes.
A pick-me
Yes.
is a woman who feels like, oh, I cook, I clean, pick me me. And so, I mean, we feel you, Trent.
Right on, Trent. Right on the screen, right there. Like, I'm about to hit him with
Let me
this
get
right
him real
here.
quick.
That's why we appreciate you, chat. So he's going through this whole process with the werewolves, and in the meanwhile, throws up part of a deer. You know, they were like, "Yeah, you ate a deer." I'm like, okay, well, first of all, this is another thing that I have, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. If you're a werewolf, you be eating animals and stuff. When you turn back into human, you still got the same like digestive system, like how you eating like raw animals, and then all of a sudden, like, wait a minute, that doesn't.
But that's why he
sit
puked.
with my
Sitting well.
Right.
I should have baked
If
that.
he ate a whole deer though, like there should have been a little more and like a little. He coughed up a little bit of blood.
What
and
does his breath smell like?
Oh,
after eating it?
Lord.
Am
Now
I the
Jack is
only
getting to the
one
real stuff.
Who thought about that? Is that just? Okay, fine. I'll be on this road by myself.
Went up to Alyssa like, "What's up, girl?" You know, she was like, "Oh my goodness."
goodness.
But they all eating animals.
No, but not his girl, not Alyssa.
No.
Like when he inappropriately kissed her.
It was inappropriate.
Well, that's what she said.
Absolutely.
Look at
Oh,
your face.
please.
Oh,
That was
God.
absolutely.
Now we going down another road. Like, wait
She
a
smiled
minute.
all in his face. Talking about some.
So every woman who smiles in your face deserves a kiss.
No, but in this situation, well, she tried it.
But
But in this situation, Alyssa, they already had the history where he told her that he liked her. So if she felt uncomfortable, she shouldn't have been around him already.
She's
She
hanging
been
out
like
with
that.
Daddy Weinstein.
Man,
That's his new
trippy.
She
nickname,
better
y'all.
stop.
He
with
is
his
trippy.
nickname, you
All right,
guys.
I'll call him Daddy Kelly if you want, but either
I mean,
way,
either way is accurate.
Either way.
Chat, which one do you prefer? Weigh in, please.
DK and DW, you know what I mean?
Hey, and what you guys think about just the teachers, be it all like sarcastic with the jokes? Like when he comes out, like my roommate's gone, they're like, "Oh, really? Like let me pull out the little bingo thing."
That was
like,
actually funny.
Hilarious.
it's funny because
that
like
part.
sometimes I guess I don't. They have some of the comedy in like places that I don't expect it, you know, to be. So like you said, when they did that whole thing and he was like going through, and they're like, "No, really, this and that." I'm like,
Right. See, that's when I noticed that there was a consequence for using the magic, because Jack was using unsolicited magic. Alyssa already
Right.
let him know that is not something that you can do. When he had to come clean out, and she kept calling him acolyte. Get here,
Yeah.
acolyte. That
or
just
call me
Delete
by
the
my
text.
name.
that
All
right.
right.
Delete
Yeah.
the text, but let me call it to you again a couple of more times. But he had to go bow down to her and clean up, and that's when she let him know that there were consequences. And as soon as he turned in that fake paper, the teacher tripped over somebody's bag,
bag, mhm.
and when I tell you, it
They
was
got hit
it was
by
a
the
severe.
cyclist.
It was severe.
Nancy did say, as you know, we were talking about the kiss. Nancy said she enjoyed that kiss, so she would you.
She
Thank
talking
you,
about his-
Nancy.
I mean,
His
she did
lips
say
are
his
so
lips
soft.
were
like,
so
how you gonna
soft.
whisper that right?
Yeah, and then smile when she walked off. That doesn't sound like a Me Too moment
Okay,
to me.
you know what?
I
Actually,
have to meet
you
you.
bring
It
up
doesn't sound like.
you bring up a good point, Josh, because this is just something else I noticed. Like, she is supposed to be like the love interest or whatever, Jen, but
Right.
she's like more goofy. Like, she has like some goofy moments.
Yes.
I'm just like, what? Like,
What are her
for her
goofy
to-
moments?
I mean, for her to like say that, she's always like, oh, like the time when what was it, episode 1 or 2 when they both said like, okay, like I'll see you or whatever, and she was like,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like,
She's an idiot.
how am I gonna say that? Like this? And I'm like, I thought you were gonna be the cool girl. Like, oh,
Jacket seems to be the cool one. He's just an
See.
idiot because he doesn't know when to be quiet.
Can you be cool and it? I guess you can be a cool idiot.
Yeah, you can be.
Yeah.
You know, just pop your collar and just keep it moving.
He don't keep it moving. That's his problem.
Oh, speak on it. Speak on it.
Definitely
Say
talking
that.
too much.
Wow. Shauna came from like right field with that. Like I'm
saying,
yelling
bro.
like he don't keep it moving. Like
He
who
don't
said
keep
that?
it moving and he don't keep it real.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness. So there was that. But I was I wanted to just find out about the teachers because I was looking like these are some silly folks, which actually leads me into dealing with the teachers and that whole situation.
Right, they're together.
Right, because
They
when
were
they walk
married.
off, unless he was doing some wine scene, he just had his arm around
I'm
her like,
telling
come on,
you.
let's go
They
do
got a
this.
little thing. They got a little.
I thought they were married.
Although Jack
Oh,
seems
maybe.
to have a real issue with this Professor Benson. Like,
I think that's
Who,
the,
the English teacher?
that's the
Or-
teacher,
Yeah.
yes. Like,
I think that's the werewolf.
why does he feel so strongly connected to her? And I'm so worried about her. And I mean, you just met her. Calm down. You didn't even tripping on the Alyssa like that.
I thought he was tripping on her because he knew his homeboy, the other order kids were gonna try to kill her because they're trying to get out the
He
test.
was, but at the end of the day, again, you got Alyssa here with Weinstein. Okay, you're
Right.
not focused on the right thing. You need to be
Right.
helping her because
True.
I mean, that's the one who you said you like. But Miss Benson, you are over
Maybe
there
he-
at her door trying
He's
to make
trying
sure
to have,
she's.
got me a
you
little
know.
cougar like over here, got me someone in my class. He's just a little player, a Canadian
He's
player.
he's
What's
trying
up,
to
Jack?
be.
Oh man, well he's doing Well, she did kind of call him out. She's like, "This is inappropriate."
Right.
No, but then she was inappropriate when she tried to, she tried to act like, well, this is inappropriate.
I
Close the door. Not do the rub. What are you talking about?
I think I saw it, John.
Okay,
I think I did say it though.
God.
She needs to just shut the door.
No, but I was kind of thinking like she is jumping to conclusion because once you be like, wait, I'm not even trying to, you feeling yourself a little too much. I'm trying to save you. Like, no,
Yeah.
Jack, you can't have
Now
all
she'd have
this.
been like, now you know.
Oh,
Now,
Lord.
okay.
Jack, this is totally inappropriate.
And then when he killed the professor, which I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, I really thought that he was going to last. I thought that he was, and
So
I
did
saw
he when he was reading the script. Like, wait a minute.
Right.
Like, y'all
I got
asked me
rent
out
to
the
pay.
shower.
Y'all do me already.
So he buries him little by little, and then he's like, pants, and then he unburies him and takes his pants off.
What else was he supposed to do? He can't walk out of the jungle
Sweetheart,
naked.
you spent scoop by scoop burying this man. You need to go head out.
Naked.
Yes. It was a drunk night. Okay, get to your dorm quick.
Yeah, it is college. You could pull that
You're in
off.
Because the
college,
black
you
man
can
had
pull
come
that
out just like, psh, like this
Hey.
is man all
Well,
over.
you know, it's a little different when we walk out there. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different.
In this town, we
know
don't
what
have to worry
happened,
about
but-
that because there's not. Yes.
Yes, this is
Not
true.
one. I haven't seen. Not even the extras in the background. Like,
Y'all crazy. I have seen them.
Did
and
you?
they still have the little mixed boy. And the,
I ain't seen no mixed boy.
The guy is mixed. Gabrielle and Brandon.
Brandon.
Brandon's mixed and Gabrielle seems. I think she's Asian.
Well, yeah, she's Asian. We clearly saw that.
Yeah, he's mixed.
Well, both of them are doing the wrong thing because they're over here using paper as money. Stacking up
And
their
then the
rooms.
waitress,
Half the people trip over-
trips and oh, Lord.
Because
Man.
every time you use that, like that trick,
Yeah.
someone is going to pay the
Injured,
consequence
yeah.
that you didn't pay.
Yeah, but when he used it on his grandfather, though, that was when I was
And he
like, that's
choked.
kind of
Right.
shady. Especially when he already had an inkling. He
Right.
his
already
grandfather
was like,
was on his case though. I
he
probably
was,
been like,
and
you
he
know
was
what?
getting on my nerves.
Please, baby,
Eat all the
please be
cookies.
quiet. Right?
Grandpa has a problem. Like, Grandpa's like, you're doing all this studying and you're doing all this having fun. Like, wait a minute, I'm in college. I'm supposed to study now.
Yeah,
Don't
dog.
take that away from me.
Yeah, Jamel Brewster had a good point. Like, crazy how, all these repercussions happened real quick with the little spells, but he said crazy how murder spells didn't have a big cost.
You know what?
Like, how is
that
that?
is so true. Thank you, Jamel. And by the way, you guys, shout out to Jamel because he was not trying to come over to the order. He was.
That's your friend?
He's following us from the passage. So
Oh, appreciate Jay.
How you doing?
What's up, JJ? What's
Good to
good,
see
babe?
you. Good to
And
see
so
you.
we had a little chat, and so it's really good to see you in the chat.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But he's absolutely right. Those murder spells, and then also, with the Knights of St. Christopher, they act so hard. But then when Jack came out, like, you know what? Let's just come up with an alliance. They're like, okay, well, yeah, that's
Yeah, because I think
Well, Lilith was still ready to bang on him. Like, no, let's just kill him. Be like,
yeah,
dang,
but
bro,
he
can you
said
give him a
that.
chance?
Remember, he said you just want to do senseless killing or something like.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'll kill you."
So?
He's like,
Are you
Right.
desperate,
See?
my
yeah,
boy?
exactly.
But can we talk about how they do their rulings, though?
With the beer
Beer
pong?
Oh yes,
I
that's
noticed
just an
that too. I
excuse
was
to
like-
drink.
That, that's because I mean, like, look, after this, we got this panel does not drink except for me. I just had to throw that out there. So perhaps in order for us to stay in order,
Oh wait a minute. Uh-oh.
we need
We finna be the
a beer
AfterBuzzers
pong.
of St. Christian.
I'm just saying we might need to go somewhere and get some beer pong in, so you know how you can be authentic with how you talk about that.
Okay,
Like
I'm trying to be
some
here
water
for you.
pong.
So silly, Jackie.
Okay,
He said
and
water
see,
pong. I'm with you.
this also adds to the goofiness that I was like, where really, like when they would go and be playing stuff, like really, this how we gonna decide it, know?
Yeah.
And like at first I thought Randall was about to be like, come on guys,
No.
let's step it, and then he was like, you know what, you right, like this. I was like, this
I don't
dude,
know.
right?
Randall, he confuses me because he's really like, he's out for Jack. Like, he's like, listen, do not kill him. I'm
Yeah.
here for him. But why?
Because he been like that since day
him.
one.
You did.
I peeped Randall because something about him. I think it was the episode when they were talking. They were looking for the werewolf, and Jack walked off. And the way he was attentive to Jack, I started paying attention to him. I said something's up with him, and then that's what it was. So he was the werewolf that
could
was
be
protecting
crushing.
him from
Right.
Kyle.
Right. It was
Right.
goofy to me too when when he had to go talk to the people and he acted like he was using powers. Remember he had to go talk to Gabrielle and Brandon and he was like, I use powerful, and the guy was like,
Right.
and then just walked on by like, there you go.
Right.
I thought that
And
was
failing
funny.
SATs because nobody else said, "Oh, he walked real fast," and then he slowed down and was cool.
Right.
Nobody noticed that.
Nobody noticed.
No, nobody.
But that's
okay.
part of the magic.
Is it?
Is it
Because
that?
I felt that was a
Gabrielle
lack
and
of
Brandon
common
are
sense.
stupid.
But there wasn't. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's what I'm
Lied on their SAT.
Listen, points were made when he said that one right there.
So we have the so just to kind of wrap it up. So we have Jack kind of, like I said, coming into the Knights of St. Christopher. It's a little rocky because, like I said, neither side really wants to give. He doesn't want to submit to them. They're like, well, we should just kill him, like. And Randall's the only one who's on his side, like, hey, just give him some more time. He's got some good stuff. Well, they find out he's in the Order. That kind of gives him a little. They're like, oh,
Double
okay,
agent.
yeah,
Lilith
little
really wanted him
leeway.
dead then.
So, so they kind of go through. He gets the alliance. He suggest that was 3, right? Where he suggested the alliance in episode 3. I think it was. Yeah. And so they go about. Jack goes about infiltrating. Like, hey, I can get in there and find out stuff. So
The whole
What
time
is he supposed
Alyssa
to-
is in here shedding her blood.
well, that's what the next thing I
On
was
the
going to do. I was
cross.
like on the other side. Meanwhile, we got Alyssa and the rest of the Blue Order or Hermetic.
Yeah, the
Hermetic
Blue
Order.
Rose.
The Blue Rose folks.
Yes, Order of the Blue Rose folks. We got Edward in there. He steps it up. And as we were talking about earlier, I think everybody was kind of caught by, because it was the first time we really kind of saw Edward kind of come in. He says his little speech at the little party, but just the way he rolled up, like in his black outfit, like.
But even before that, the way that he was talking to Vera, like something's going on there too.
Well, that's the thing I was gonna say. I think first of all, she feels a little threatened by Alyssa because Alyssa's getting all the attention now, and like, oh, come and work on my special project. When he said special project or whatever, I was like,
That's
I
never
think
good.
I think Vera
I'll show you this
knows.
special project. Right?
Yeah, I think Vera's had a taste of that special
Oh!
project.
And so she was like,
Tasty
"Don't."
taste.
Just
Get it.
devil.
Right. Out of order.
And she knows what's coming for Alyssa. But I do like how she's kind of like, hey, he's going to make you feel like you're the most important person in the world. You
Right.
are not.
Right.
And that's the only warning she's going to give her. She's like, I'm going to let
She
you
doesn't
walk this
need
road.
any more warnings.
Yeah, but
But
you
she
know.
still, you see when Edward came in and was like, I think you should take the seat on the table, like, you would be great quiet. And you could kind of feel like she would still feel like, okay, because he was like, you put yourself above the order. I mean, yourself. Yeah, you put the order
Right.
above yourself and all this. And there looked like moments where she was like, oh, yeah, like she was feeling it.
But those are typical player lines.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why when she said it to him, like, like I had my moment where I was feeling good. And then he kind of.
So then let me ask
saw
y'all
you
this.
came along and no.
So why do y'all think Vera gave her the spell?
Because I think she wants Daddy Kelly to expose himself. I'm sorry, he's gonna be Daddy Kelly or Daddy Weinstein.
No.
Excuse me, please do that.
I really do. I think she wants him. She wants to see how far he's gonna go. Either because she wants him to succeed at reuniting these books, or she wants him to, you give a person enough rope, they'll hang themselves.
Of course.
So it's one or the other that she's looking for because
So is she trying to secretly take over? Like, is she trying to get the Alyssa and DK situation taken care of so that Alyssa ends up killing him and she takes over?
I'm not entirely sure because her motives are she's so secretive because when that Renee lady came and she was like, we can't even practice necromancy anymore because of you. You was doing it in the first episode.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure. Sometimes she seems like she's an evil genius for good, and then other times she just seems like she's just evil. I'm not
Okay.
entirely sure where she's at
I
with
like
that.
Vera.
Sidebar,
I do too.
real quick on Vera. Does anybody else think that she looks like Shannon Doherty from 90210?
From Charmed.
Yeah, I'm Charmed. Like I don't know. I see it. I saw
I
it.
don't see it, but
I don't know
she
if I
got
see
the
it.
dark
Okay,
hair. She got the dark hair.
I don't know. I was looking at it. Maybe it was like certain angles or whatever. I was like, dang, she looks like Brenda Walsh. Like anyway.
See, I was seeing things
probably
totally
the
different.
magic.
I think she got an ulterior motive.
Right, Vera.
Yeah.
I think that she's trying to get to some information. Her and Edward together, because she's talking
You
about.
think they're in cahoots?
So you
because
think
she
they're
goes-
using
I
Alyssa?
think she might take them both
because
out
she
and
goes,
try to run things.
The order is at your disposal, as am I.
Yeah, I did hear that. But I was like,
Hold on
But
now.
I'm
Big
saying
Z.
maybe
Ain't
the
got nobody's
special
disposal.
project was a good project. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at her. I'm watching her.
I
We all
like
watch
Vera.
it.
I like Vera too. I just don't know if I like, because I always kind of like the bad guy a little bit, i.e. Clark.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if I like her because she's got that badness to her, or if she's just gonna be the surprise good guy. I haven't really figured her out yet, but I do like her.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, we're definitely gonna watch out for Vera. And the
Good
last
old
thing,
Vera.
the last thing in episode 3 that we start to see Gabrielle and Brandon. They're dabbling in the magic, the dark magic. They start releasing these spells. Dude has like a whole fantasy with what's her name?
That was
Gabrielle.
That
weird.
was so interesting. That
And
was
when he
the
was
part
just
that
sitting in
got
the
me.
chair, I was like, wow, that was like a real scene. They were probably like, go.
He
was
gonna
like,
die.
I gotta get into it,
I like that. Listen, if I had that power,
I
I'd
said the
use it
same
all
thing.
day.
I would-
see?
I
People
would
being
be-
real, though. That's what we do.
You
Even though
be
she's
getting
out of order.
raises and
No.
cars and all.
I would be magically sleeping my way to the top. I would like if I could get away with not doing it for real. I would magically sleep my way to the
Just
top.
in the corner reading books. And people
like-
like, oh my God. Like,
Yes,
I would magically spin my way to the top as well.
right? All the money.
With all the paper. I'd be like, excuse me, I would like 10 reams of construction paper. And I'd be buying houses and everything.
just
Right?
under her own.
That is
Just paying
hilarious.
for stuff like that.
People
just
walking into
showing
the
up
bank like, I don't know where this cardboard paper came from.
That's some nonsense, like right here. So yeah, we start to see them dabbling in the magic, and Jack gets involved in it, and they start doing like silly stuff, ordering pizzas, and the pizza guy, and then we start to see it hitting Jack, like all these random stuff start happening while they're doing silly things, and he kind of finally puts it together, like, hey, the magic, it goes somewhere else, when it doesn't affect the person, but it runs off if it doesn't.
Well, it affected that
do it.
pizza man. He got beat down for them anchovies.
Yeah, he was
Gonna tell you.
doing
He's like,
next to him. I was like, man.
Yeah.
But see, that's where they throw in the humor because, like, how could you not laugh at when the door closed and that poor pizza man got beat up for anchovies?
And you still gave him fake money. That's the thing. Like, you saw him get beat down and you didn't say, hold up, y'all, we should really get this man some
We
real
need to
money.
hook him
Like,
up.
y'all, come on.
Oh,
Y'all
Jackie.
shady. Y'all shady. I don't like it.
For her to be talking right now is really something. Because she'd be like, I would have killed them all.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not going to keep his money, though, if he getting beat up.
Well, I also look at Gabrielle. Like, there was something like in especially episode 3, I was just like, oh, this little girl right here. I don't know if it's just like her little entitled attitude. Like,
It's
sometimes
definitely
it
her
just,
entitled attitude.
Yeah.
That's
She's like,
definitely
do I
what it
look
is.
like I do? I was like, ooh, like
She hadn't
someone
met the
just
right
like-
guy yet. She thinks she wanted them hot tamales, and she nothing but a piece of ice.
Ooh,
Wow.
She's
call her out.
Gabrielle.
She out of order. Boom.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, she actually.
We starting the segment right now.
Right.
This whole
Need
segment
that right
is out
guy
of
to
order.
kind of let her know, like.
Jamel had a question as far as Vera. Do you think that she knows about Jack being Ed's son?
Yes.
Is that
Ooh,
you
that's a
think
good
she
question.
knows that?
She's the
No.
one that changed the paper in the beginning.
is.
I think that's where I think your point comes in, where Vera and Ed are working together, because she changed his paper to make sure that he was accepted into the university. She appeared in his room. The blue rose was, was there, and then Ed is playing this role. When he first met him, he's like, oh, you're Jack. Oh, hello. Like, get out of here, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, come
But
on,
you know,
man.
his memory could be erased. I mean, we see what happens when you
That's
go into
another
somebody's
cool piece of
subconscious or
magic.
something like that. You can go deep.
So do you think
Hello.
that Vera knows and then Ed really doesn't? Like, or do you think that Ed kind of
No,
knows?
I think they both know that Jack is his son. Yeah, I just don't see how they wouldn't know that when he was selected before he even got to the university.
What do you guys think, chat? Let us know. Do you guys think that Ed and Vera know that Jack is his son, or just Vera?
They
Because we
probably
know
like,
Vera knows.
they probably like, well, we done seen the whole season.
I know.
Nancy
We know.
said Vera's lost in the sauce, y'all.
Ooh. The South.
Are we giving her two?
All right. What's that? That's that Usher's confession album, ain't it?
Wow.
Wait a minute. Lost in the South.
Man.
We might be giving
They're
her a little
wrong.
bit too many brains.
Parlaying in the bush.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, speaking of sauce, let's talk about some sauce that we'd like to let you AfterBuzzers know about.
You guys, they getting better.
They getting better.
All right, guys.
I'm loving it.
Now listen, before we get into the next episode, we just want to say thank you guys for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. And for us to continue to grow, we need your help. So if you're on YouTube right now, which a lot of you guys are, hey, all y'all in the chat, keep talking to us. But while you're there, give us a thumbs up because that's what we need. And if you happen to be listening to us on iTunes while you're there, give us 5 stars. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation because this group, we're pretty chatty. So we're going to be chatting with you all week. If you leave a comment, trust me when I tell you, you're going to hear from us because we really love being here at AfterBuzz. And we want to thank you guys again because we appreciate you supporting us, doing what we love. So don't forget to tell your friends, tell their friends, and tell an enemy. I'm not going to forget you. And then maybe we can continue to grow, and we're going to figure out this order. Because sometimes it's just out of order. But we're going to figure it out.
And then give us your feedback, guys. Let us know, like, we know that we're a wild bunch. You know, let us know how you like the format, the way we do the show, the way we make it, you know, unique to this particular group. So we would love your feedback.
We would love that.
Yes.
And we would definitely shout you out.
Nancy says, again, Vera wants Jack there because she sees his potential. But that's about it.
Wow. So she's not, but she doesn't see Alyssa's potential. Alyssa is doing big things.
I don't know.
But
See,
I don't think Alyssa has potential.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait
a minute.
How is she possibly saying this, guys?
She's my Lila.
I was going to say,
Oh.
she's Lila to me. She's kind of useless.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
How is it possible that she's useless when she just cut herself and opened up?
She did
Because
cut
I
it.
She got tethered and went into the subconscious of a freaking
because
dead
she
man.
was lured by a man. I think that she's one of those chicks that you get the right looking man in front of her and she gonna do whatever. I don't think that she really got her own thing going on.
But she
Yes.
still had to be smart enough to get that open.
I will say she is kind
No,
of a
I don't think so. I'm sorry to cut. I
Oh.
think that he set her up. Because everyone else, you know, first dude that tried it, his arm broke. The next girl fell out. Everybody just so conveniently fell off. She do the simplest spell out of all of them, and then wha-bam. I think he's setting her up. I think he wants her to feel like she's more than what she is, just
Wow.
like Vera
Snatch her
told
down.
her.
But if we look at it from an actual factual point of view, we know that she did something different than they all did. She crisscrossed it on the palm.
Girl, stop. Nobody.
That was a clean cut, though. That was a clean
kiss
cut.
and a cross.
Let me ask you this. Was that the same hand that Vera put the spell in? The one that she
So
cut?
maybe Vera.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay, because I'm just saying. Look at it now. It's too convenient. Go ahead, Tanir.
No,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you guys are actually leading right into as we get into episode 4, and she's on the quote unquote special project with Edward. She did kind of have like the little like gangster attitude when she kept going into sleep. You know, she kept
Right.
being scared. She's like, no, let's go back again. Let's go. You know, and I was like, maybe he knew she was the one. Like, hey, she's gonna keep going in there until she finds what I need. You know, because even at the end, he was like, no, you're good. Like, you need to rest. She was like, no, I could do like another. You know?
But that's the reverse psychology
Yep.
he told her about in the beginning when she slit her hand open. And I'm going to tell you something else he's doing. He's causing her to push away all of her friends. So then there's nobody in her ear saying, girl, you better check him out. He might not be legit. She's already told Jack, oh, Jack, I can't work with you anymore. As if he didn't know that she and Jack were working together so she could get him straightened. And so now she's pushing Jack away. When have you seen her hang with anybody else?
Do you think Vera would step in and be like, Edward, you doing too much? Like,
No.
stop. Or you think you'd be like, no, go ahead, destroy her. Like, I
Have
don't
you
care.
seen Evil step in and say stop?
Well, I'm just wondering, like, she might start like that, and then what if she's like, you know what, these things are going too far?
No,
Right.
because she wants that book. I'm telling you, Vera's objective is that book.
And she gonna kill Edward.
Yeah, well, yeah.
She felt some type of
probably
way
does.
when Alyssa called him Edward. She was like, Edward? He was
Yeah.
Like, she was like,
Oh.
the McNiggas.
Right.
Whatever the person name is.
We got...
We're not going to a commercial.
right.
Shauna is going to be on a timeout for the rest of this year.
Oh, for
gonna
those,
look
for
at me
those
crazy
listening on the
for-
podcast, the studio like exploded right this second. We
Oh
all,
my God.
and I don't want any retweets in the thing about that. Like, oh, remember when you guys said like, okay,
No.
It was a Freudian slip.
yeah, but what is his title? We might have to. It was like a funny like.
It was maggots. It sounds like maggot, doesn't
Right.
it? It's like maggots or
He
something
is the
like that.
maggots. Like if
I'm
you don't
seriously
sit
crying
your
over
maggots behind down, like.
So, what else is there on that show that we can
So,
talk about?
I told you guys this gonna be that kind of show today, so you better just be along for the ride, and feel free to just come on with it in the chat. You know, just be. Oh, they probably.
Well,
like,
I got my ab workout for the
Right,
day.
you know? So yeah, no, I agree with you guys. Like it's gonna be interesting in terms of how with Alyssa and Edward and Vera. I'm real interested in Vera, like what's she gonna do? Because I haven't really figured it out. I hear what you guys are saying, but I'm just like, she could really go either way.
Shake things
So,
up. I haven't seen her do any extraordinary magic though. That makes me feel afraid of her or anything like that.
Vera,
You said
she
it makes
pulled the
you-
eye out the chick and looked to see what happened to her.
You said it makes you feel afraid of her?
Yeah, it doesn't. It does not make me feel
That's what
afraid.
makes me feel afraid. She's probably so powerful that she's like, I'm going to ease up until I need to show them what it's like.
Interesting. Okay.
That's how I look at it.
I'll keep my eye open for her.
We did see a comment in the chat that I thought was hilarious because I thought I was the only one who did this.
Uh-oh.
He said that when he was younger, I'm trying to find you. If you're still in there, just shout it out. But he said when he was younger, he tried the spliff, whatever the magic is that when you do the drawings, it's basically called a glimmer, is what it's called, or a glamour. He said he tried it when he was younger, and then a whole bunch of bad stuff happened to him. So he didn't try it again.
Listen, we understand that happened to you when you were younger, but drop the exact spell.
Right? Especially if it worked, because you did not say if it worked or not, and I need to know that.
That could have been his warning, like, hey, bro, ease up now.
Right? Right?
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. So, I mean, really just with Alyssa and Edward for this episode is really just going into the dreams of this dead knight who's still alive somehow, but we jumping into his head, you know, and...
But they say that he holds the second page of the book or the second part of the book or whatever, which we did end up seeing that he had within him. And that's how you had to
How'd
get
they
it.
get
You
it
had
out,
to
though?
go.
How'd they get it? I mean, I saw
Remember
her
he burned...
No,
What
so, but she had it in her hand when
Right.
he. So how she?
Because
how-
he pulled the rope from her. You mean that part?
Yeah, but I'm saying so. Whatever you grab in your subconscious just comes through.
In this situation, because she
This
was
is a different
tethered.
show.
Yeah, no, I got it.
She was tethered.
I'm
Magic.
I'm back.
That's what they can
Hey.
attribute.
You know,
this
it
to,
reminds
just
me
magic.
of if anyone in the chat watches The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch or whatever, there was a situation where she had to be tethered and go into like hell or into like
Oh, that's a
okay.
dark
poltergeist.
world or something like that.
Stay away from the light, Carolyn.
So, I
They
mean, that's
didn't.
something that's clearly common. Tying a regular old rope, which I'm guessing is magically. I don't
No,
know.
child, that's a Walmart rope.
Walmart.
Right, they tied it to her hand, and she was able to go into the subconscious, and it was ugly. Like I remember one time she woke up like, "Grandma, no!" I'm like,
Yeah,
What
but then
happened
she
to
was
Grandma?
like, balls. Like she kept waking up like she had Tourette's or something. I thought
Right.
that was part. That was
That was
what?
funny.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
I felt like when they were doing those scenes, like she was just saying random stuff,
Yeah,
like that
right.
they didn't use, you know, where she was just like,
"Yeah, we gotta
And
get
take
her
it
in
again.
here and ask her those questions."
right, you know, like, oh, he had nasty feet, you know,
Right.
like type thing, like,
What's that smell?
what's going on? Let's go. Get back in there, though, you know.
Kelly Clarkson.
So eventually they end up getting the pages, get the thing back together. So now he's got 2 pages, 2 of the 4, I think he said. He said 2, got 2 down, 2 to go. So I guess they're going to be on the lookout for these other couple pages for the, what was it called? I actually wrote it down. The Vidi Macam Infernal, or whatever. These names. I'm like,
That's the other thing that I would like to know.
Magus?
Is there someone really? Are these real Latin words, or is somebody just writing down gibberish?
These sound.
I would
real.
love to know.
These sound.
It could
real.
be a mixture.
Yeah. it
I know
could be.
one show I watched, they have real Latin words, but they're non-sacrilegious Latin words, and then they
okay.
make up their own other words so that it doesn't come across as sacrilegious.
I'm all about real language. Don't be making up no words. I'm trying
That's
to-
how them spirits start
Yeah,
coming off.
Shauna just made up a whole
do we have-
word.
do we-
He did.
do we-
Sometimes.
Do we have any Latin folks in the chat? If we do, please let us know if those are real. You know, any
Oh
of you.
Lord! See, people got jokes. He said, "I heard Jussie Smollett was tethered in a blizzard on his way to Subway."
Oh no!
I cannot with
People.
you.
I thought
Trent
Justin.
King.
See,
I
they just already picked up on the whole
cannot.
way this whole
I thought
show
Jesse
is
already
going.
got
That
it.
was
Said
Trent King with the
Trent.
joke.
Rent.
See, Trent gonna come with the knowledge, and then he just gonna knock us out with the joke.
He's like, well, in Genesis, Jussie
Right.
was tethered.
Right.
He's a
Like-
multifaceted young man.
Right. Right. So, so moving on from Alyssa and Edward, because that's going to be an ongoing thing. I think she's just going to get pulled deeper into his little web until he maybe gets what he needs, and it might be like, boop, see ya,
Yeah.
you know, type thing.
She's a proxy.
On the other end, dealing with Jack and them in episode 4, they're still dealing with trying to figure out like what's going on with the magic, like how does it work. Jack finally cracks the code, figures it out, tells has his little episode with the teacher, well, I should say this, with the werewolves in terms of figuring out that what's her name, Gabrielle and Brandon are trying to kill the English teacher. Figures out how it's gonna work, so he takes the crew, gets the werewolves crew, like, let's go stop him.
Right.
They go over there and just start smashing on folks.
Yeah,
you
Right
know,
there,
for, like,
that's when we find out. Like, cause to me, when I heard them say it, it truly didn't like connect with me when they were saying like, oh, when you eat the heart, it stops the magic. But then when I saw the like zombie type people come in, I'm like, oh, so they're possessed. Whenever you experience that, the next person that you run into is going to get possessed to kill. So you see these like wide-eyed zombie types and the werewolves are killing them, much to Josh's point that they are just trying to bring justice to the community.
They're just the good guys.
They're just
the good guys.
I mean, and they're huge. Like, and he learned how to manifest himself.
Right.
And guess what it was from? Thinking about Professor Benson. Thinking about how worried he was when he thought she was going to die. What's going on, Jack?
Because
Jack trying to get an A.
he did smash the car on that
Are we
one.
going
That's when you
Jalissa
know.
or are we going Jensen? Let me know, because you know nowadays these
Age
professors
ain't
are...
number.
And he was like, why do I have
No,
to choose
it's
though?
more than that.
So I'm just saying, like, he...
Kelly.
Right. So, yeah, so they go through, stop everything, you know, and then he has his little moment at the end, like, I love you, Miss Benson. Wow. It's like, oh, here
I mean,
we
he
go.
played
It was
that
like-
off well, though, because he's butt naked. What
guess.
else was he going to
Drunk
do?
college
What if he
kid.
done like a
Yeah.
little helicopter move, though? Like, it.
You know what? Tanir is suspended.
I got a surprise for you.
And she would have been like, you know what? Let me see you in the house real quick, you know, type thing. So here we
Call
go.
me in there.
So anyway, so that little situation goes. They save her. He gets back, and they're like, okay, yeah, we think we can. First of all, when they said like, I think we can do the alliance at the end, and then he's like, no alliance. I'm in. But I was like,
Yeah.
weren't you guys in an alliance already? Like,
No,
No, he
I
was
mean,
trying to get them
yeah.
not to kill him.
Right.
And
I
by
thought they
saying,
by the fact that they went over there, I was like, okay, well, I guess they in an
Yeah.
alliance because they working together. But
But it feels good to see that he accepted who he is. I mean, honestly, you clearly can't change back. You've now researched who you are, Silverback, and you have these other ones. So he's starting to embrace who he is and call upon him for things instead of being like, this thing is controlling me. It's like, no, I control this. And so it was kind of cool to see him like embrace himself a little bit.
So real quick, I want to get in our special segment
Gotta
real
get
quick.
it in.
So just kind of, Shauna,
You
we'll
start.
start with you. And just for those listening, special segment is out of order. So we're kind of going to go around and just give our thoughts about
What was out of order?
what was out of order, who was out of order.
Okay,
what's
well,
going
since
on.
this was 2 episodes, of course I got 2 out of orders. 1, Jack was out of order for showing his self to Professor Benson, okay? Keep it together. She slid you a sexual harassment paper. Read it. Get into it. Delve in. And also, out of order is Alyssa for acting like his lips were soft, but that chemistry wasn't there, girl. You know his lips was not soft. He just came out of being a werewolf. They're cracked.
Oh!
Let's be realistic. Okay, what about you,
Well,
John?
maybe he's using Vaseline or something. I
This
don't
sex,
know.
you know?
Well, my I just have one out of order, and my out of order is Gabrielle. I mean, she's all over the place. She's selfish. She's an idiot. They're trying to warn her. Just her whole character to me is just. She's just all over the place. They need to go ahead and either fix her or
Fix her.
Dang, he says.
Wrap.
Killer.
My out of order is going to have to go to Daddy Weinstein, a.k.a. Ed. I got to remember your real name now. But he is just heading up the Me Too movement on the campus. He's just the way. And I don't care what anybody. Something is up with that I do. I think he done tricked her into some sort of magical wedding, and now she's a child bride, and it's just about to go down. You're out of order, Daddy.
Man, my out of order goes to Jack for in episode, I think it was 3, when he took the professor's pants. Like, come on, man. Like, you just mauled me. You gonna bury me, dig me back up, and then take my
It wasn't
pants.
right.
Like, that's. Man, I was like, you out of order. You out of order, Jack. You could have maybe whittled him or a little
Something. You
twig underwear or something, you know,
Okay,
or a
Adam.
leaf, you know.
Okay,
See, it all goes
Adam.
back. And Lilith, so she probably would have liked that, you
God.
know. All right, real quick. Let's get into predictions.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay. Well, my prediction for sure is that Alyssa is finally going to discover what Ed is about, and I think that she's going to partner up with Jack and the werewolves so that they can try to get that taken care of. Because I really do believe that Alyssa means well.
I think the werewolves are going to come head to head with the order, and Jack is going to get caught in the middle, and he's going to have to offer an explanation.
I think Alyssa's a sacrifice. I think that somehow, some way, they need to use her to sacrifice to whatever they need to get this book. She gonna die.
Wow. Actually, I'm going to agree with you on the Alyssa one. I think she is just being. I think she's being a pawn right now, and I think Jack's going to swoop in somehow and save her because they're going to try to get rid of her and he gonna come in and do it. Like, and lastly, I think they're gonna find out that he's a werewolf, because how can they have all this magic and he walking around? And so I said, squirrels don't eat jelly. No. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hey, we just had a little technical difficulty, so I know some of you guys are probably like, wait, what? Like, what did we miss? We had like a great conversation. Too bad you weren't there. No, I'm just kidding. So all I had just said, the last thing I was saying was in terms of how they couldn't detect that Jack was a werewolf. I just thought that was funny, because I was like, you're dealing with magic. I thought someone might have been like, something's different with him, type thing. But I want to get in. So that's my prediction. So we're going to kind of wrap things up here. Let them know where they can follow you at.
Hey guys, you can follow me on all things social media at JRayTheFanatic, and make sure you are here with me on Thursdays, because we are doing the Supernatural.
I am Joshua Wright. You can find me all things cleverly clad.
And I am your girl, Deshauna O, on Twitter. And guess what? You can catch me on Wednesdays for American Soul on BET.
Boom, there you have it.
Hey.
And we got Tanir Williams here. Thank you, guys. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TanirW, and you can catch me on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock doing Boomerang on BET.
All right.
So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys had a good one. I know we did. It was one of those good ones. So, you guys have a great week, and we will see you again next week. Same time, same channel.
2 more episodes next week.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.